Hey everybody, my name is Karla Silver and I'm very excited to be here with you today. I help individuals and businesses look fantastic online and I'm going to help you do that today as well. Before I get started, I just want to give a real wonderful shout out to Amy Walker and her crew and the folks at Accelerate University. I'm honored and grateful for being here with you, but I'm also really excited myself to not just participate in this panel of experts, but to actually learn from the rest of these amazing lineup of experts that Accelerate University has brought to us here. So, yay! Here's my promise to you. I have a lot of great information to share with you today, but I do have limited time. So I promise to bring the goods, and then I put together a great bonus package for you that will take what we have here further when I'm done. So you'll get access to that at the end of our time together. So let's not waste a moment. Let's get going. So today for you, I've picked my top 7 things that you can do right now or this week to be seen as an expert in your list. Now remember, there's a couple of things that are going on online, and one of the things that we all love about the internet is that you can begin to develop relationships with your customers and your prospects online 24/7 when you're sleeping, when you're out with your family, when you're enjoying a dinner out with some friends. Your online presence works for you or doesn't work for you 24/7. So in my personal opinion, your online presence or your look, how you look online, is arguably the most important element of everything you do. You could have the best product in the world. You could be in front of the best company in the world. You could have the best service in the world. But if you don't appear to be professional and at the top of your game, then you're not going to be seen as an expert. And gosh, it's really easy. To be honest, here's the deal. If you know one more thing than the person that you're talking to, you're the expert in the group, right? So you're just going to want to make sure that your online presence is reflective of how you want to be perceived in the marketplace. Just like in the olden days when you bought a beautiful suit to go to work and the way you looked and your pay and everything else was reflective of that, same thing is true online. And the cool thing is, again, like, you can do that 24/7, right? You don't have to be the one in front of the camera all the time. You don't have to be the one reaching out. The internet is that beautiful place where you can carve out your own niche. So today, if you might want to look at this as some kind of online makeover for you. The other part of the equation I want to touch on here is that people do business and people work with people you all know the answer to this, people they know, like, and trust. And again, the internet and how you look online, it totally crushes the know, like, and trust factor. So here's my number one thing that you can do today or this week to look fantastic online, and that's get a professional headshot. I actually I didn't think of this for a long time. I have to totally admit it. And once I got a professional headshot, I realized that I used them over and over and over and over and over again. So if you're thinking, oh, I don't like how I look in front of the camera, just remember everybody feels exactly the same way. And you might be thinking, oh, I don't want to spend the money. You know what? It doesn't have to be a big deal. If you live in the United States, Sears has a photography studio that you can get headshots done very, very inexpensively. Also, most real estate agents have their headshot on their cards, and they don't spend a ton of money for that. So you just Google real estate headshots and the name of your town. So if you live in New York City, you would Google real estate headshots New York City, and you can get them done very inexpensively, all the way up to somebody that does professional headshots. These are my headshots here. And you know who did these for me? My hairdresser. So I paid her not very much money. She was just getting into starting her photography, and I took her up on her offer to do my hair and do my headshot for me. So it doesn't have to be a big deal, but get them done. You won't believe how many ways you'll be able to use your headshot. And again, done properly, it makes you look really good, and therefore you look great online and you look like an expert. With social media and our online presence that plays such a huge role today in the success of our businesses, it's really more important than ever to be seen often and in your best possible light. My second tip is ownyourownname.com. For example, I own carlasilver.com. Now, this might seem kind of obvious, but lots and lots of people don't do it. You might have a website. I see lots of experts out there that don't have their name, and they have the name of a product. And while a name of your product is great, and you should own many domains, it is essential to own and brand yourself. Now, your website does not have to be perfect. You do not have to spend, if you're just developing your own website right now, don't spend a ton of time on it. Just get it done. Imperfectly done is better than perfectly not done 100 times. So I use WordPress for mine. I used a theme that was called Thrive Theme. Obviously, you can pick your own themes, but I'm just giving you what I use. A couple of elements that you're going to want to include on your home page on yourname.com is a picture of you, a bio or about me area, and that could be a link off your homepage, a link to your blog, and I'm going to talk about that in a little bit, some sort of opt-in or call to action, because building your following building your list is essential to building your following and getting known as an expert, right? You're going to want to lead from the front. And obviously all of your social media links. Guys, I know that I'm going really fast, but again, I want to be able to give you the super goods. The third element that you're going to want to include in looking like an expert online and putting your best foot forward is really simple. You're going to want to make sure that your headers for all of your social media are beautiful and are representative of you. So the top of your Facebook page is or Twitter or Google Plus or YouTube. When someone's checking you out and looking and thinking, do I want to work with this person? Is this somebody that I can trust? Do I like this person? Do I identify with this person? They're going to Google you. They're going to look for you on LinkedIn. They're going to look for you on Facebook. They're going to be checking you out. So your picture and you're at the top of your social media header is probably, and some people argue it, that it's the most important image that you have other than your own headshot. So you're going to want to spend some thoughtful time thinking about an image that represents you. And a call to action. I'm really low tech and I enjoy the creative aspect. So I use two websites, PicMonkey.com and Canva.com, to create my own headers. They're really fun to use if you have any kind of creative bent at all. If you don't have a creative bent and that's not something you enjoy doing, Fiverr is a really good place to look for to outsource the creation of your headers. You can do a good job and you get somebody to do it for $5. And if you don't like it, you can have them revise it for $5 or go to somebody else for $5. Alternatively, there are places all over the web where you can get professionals to design your headers for you. But I think that, again, like I said, in hint number 2, is that you're definitely going to want to have it, even if it's imperfectly done, instead of perfectly not done. Tip number, oh, by the way, here's a really good example of a Facebook header. Melanie Duncan's been around forever. She's an expert in designing online courses for business owners. She's also a Pinterest, obviously, expert here. And so she's done a beautiful job. She's got a shot of herself. She has one of her products on the right-hand side, which is her lead magnet. I'm going to talk about that in a second. So she gives away a free guide to how to get followers on Pinterest. And anybody that's interested in Pinterest at all is going to be clicking on that, and then she gets to email them over and over and over. This is just a beautifully done Facebook header that is completely representative of what Melanie is all about. Here's another a Twitter example that I just thought was beautiful. This woman does 8-week diet programs, and she's got a beautiful Twitter header. She's enthusiastic. It's very clear about what she wants you to do, so she has a clear call to action. And when you click on her program here, you have an opportunity to opt into her list and get and sign up for her 8-week program. So I just wanted to share those with you because they'll give you a good idea of where you might want to end up. You don't need to get there today. Just make sure that all your social media is representative of you, and you have an image and some sort of something that identifies you as being different from the rest of the group. So my next hint on how to appear like an expert online is, some of you might go, oh, I don't feel like blogging. But I got to tell you, there's a couple things here that are essential. Blogging totally crushes the know, like, and trust factor. It establishes your authority. Writing about important topics that are relevant to you and your audience establishes you as an expert in their eyes. It enhances your professionalism and your professional image. Uh, I think a blog is your business card now, right? It is your online business card on steroids. It also allows you to build rapport and engagement. When someone's checking you out and they stumble upon your blog, they get to know you. They get to figure out who you are, what you stand for, what is interesting to you, what you don't like. And one of the cool things about that is, if that person that's checking you out and they're on your blog, if they don't like what they see, they're not going to be your perfect prospect anyway, or your perfect customer. So they'll go away and go find somebody else. But when you're your true authentic self and you're writing consistently about things that interest you, things that are positioning you as an expert in the marketplace, when your perfect prospect or your perfect customer comes along and they read what you're writing, they're the ones that are going to be likely to call you up and say, how do I pay you? Right? It creates that wonderful resonance. I can't tell you how many times somebody has, I didn't even know it, right? They're checking me out, they're reading my blog, and they're following me for sometimes months and months and months. And they call me up and say, I've been reading you. I remember when you went to wherever I went for vacation, and I really loved what you had to say about X, and I liked Y, and I'm ready to take advantage of your services. So remember, people are going to Google you. They're going to check out your blog. And if you have a blog and you are consistent with your blog, they're going to follow you. And that all happens behind the scenes. I think my record is somebody was following me for 4 or 5 years, and one day called me up and said, Karla, I'm ready to get started. So it really does establish a massive credibility for you. Also as a way for you to easily, and I'm going to talk about that in 2 seconds, easily be a stand for what is remarkable about you. So for those of you that are saying, oh, I need another thing to do, like a hole in the head, which is typically me because we're all very busy, your blogging does not have to take a ton of time. As a matter of fact, you can put a whole week's worth of blog posts up in a day. And there are various, in 20 minutes, as a matter of fact. And there are various schools of thought. Some people think you should blog every day. Some people think you should blog every couple of days. I am just consistent. I'm not going to tell you what to do. I don't think that there's a perfect formula. You just want to be up and consistently, maybe at least once a week, posting to your blog. But one of the things that you don't have to do is you don't have to write everything on your blog. That is a misconception that's been out there in the marketplace for a very long time. You can actually curate. And I know all of us run into articles and posts and things online that we find really interesting. Well, As a matter of fact, yesterday I found an article on Forbes.com that I just thought was fantastic, totally was up my alley. So what I did is I curated it to my blog. This is totally white hat. You can definitely do this. There's nothing negative about this. What I did is I took the first couple of paragraphs, I put that on my blog. I took the title from Forbes. I entitled the blog post the same title as Forbes magazine. I took the first couple paragraphs, put it on there, and then right under right where the third paragraph would be, I said, read the rest of this on Forbes.com. Content providers like Forbes and Huffington Post, etc., they love this because in the end, what you're doing is you're driving traffic to their website. So this is a super easy way for you to post things on your blog. If you don't have anything personal that you want to share with your audience that particular day, but you find an article that is totally in alignment with what you stand for, who you are, what you want to accomplish, and what your perfect reader or perfect customer would like to read, curate that content. Takes about 10 minutes at the most, maybe 2 minutes to get that up and going on your blog. My next tip for you today is create a lead magnet of your own and give it away. So a lead magnet isn't anything more than something that is of value that solves a specific problem in your marketplace. So I know that many of us give away, for example, you just saw Melanie Duncan's free report on how to generate leads on Pinterest. It doesn't have to take a long time to put it together. As a matter of fact, the best the best lead magnets that I ever get are really short because I want to be able to digest that information very, very quickly. And so you're going to want to think about what would be the pain points that your perfect prospect or your perfect customer might be experiencing and how can you help them? So let me give you an example. Let's say you grow tomatoes and you're an expert tomato grower and you know that and you sell tomato plants and you sell the sticks and all of the peat and all of the fertilizer that you need to grow tomatoes. And you know that many of the people that you sell your products to experience what is it called? Flower drop, which is only it's just when the plant doesn't produce fruit, and you know how to solve that. You could write a checklist or a really short ebook or a really short report or video or hold a webinar, a cheat sheet, any samples on how you can avoid flower drop. 5 ways that you can never have flower drop again. So think about what your prospects and what your customers, what problems that they have in the marketplace, and put together. It should take you just a couple of hours. You can put together a real quick report, checklist, video, webinar, cheat sheet, mind map, sample, toolkit, etc. that you can give away in exchange for them giving you their email address. Just by doing this and putting your name on it and your picture, again, it puts you in the expert seat. You know at least one more thing than your prospect knows. Okay, tip number 6, ladies and gentlemen, is Periscope. And I wouldn't have included this a month ago. But I have to tell you, I have seen people that are up and comers in the marketplace firmly establish them as experts in their niche in an incredibly short period of time, in the span of a month. So if you don't know what Periscope is owned by Twitter. And if you think about if you could video out into the marketplace, it's a live video streaming service. It is brand new. It is going fast, growing very, very fast. And if you're an early adopter and if you're listening to my voice, you would be an earlier adopter. You're the one that will win. It can generate serious leads for your business. I know that I've generated some amazing leads for my business, and it's a super cool way for you to build your own brand and your own voice in the marketplace. So here's the deal. always when you're looking at a new network or technology or platform like Periscope, it's got it has to pass a couple of tests for you to actually be useful to you, right? Is this new network, will it add value to your relationships with your prospects and clients? And if the answer is yes, my recommendation to you is dive in. There's a couple ways that people use Periscope, but mostly I believe the best way is to develop relationship with your customers and the customers that don't even know they're going to be customers from you in the future. So it's live, it's raw, you don't have to be perfect. Please drop that if you're thinking, oh no, I have to do my makeup and all that. Just download Periscope, start following a couple of people, and you'll see the power of the platform. Uh, Live and raw and unscripted messages can send an extraordinarily strong brand message, your brand, and let people see how stuff is really done. So in my bonus package at accelerateyou.carlasilver.com, I included 101 ways that you can use Periscope to build your following, build your brand, generate leads, and make sales. So that's part of the bonus package for you. So the next recommendation, tip, expert tip, is something that I have never given away until a workshop that I held last weekend. This is one of my super duper secret sauce, and I'm going to show you how simple it is for you to dominate Google for your name. Now, I want to remind you, I mentioned this at the beginning of our conversation. What do people do when they first heard of you, when they see you at an event, when they meet you on the street, when they're checking out your website? They Google you. So I want to ask you, what do your personal search results look like? Here are mine. They're not all that beautiful, but if you notice, Karla Silver comes up in every single search result. This is just the first one. I took this picture yesterday. I dominate page 1, page 2. There's lots of other Karla Silvers. They start appearing at the end of page 2. They're scattered through page 3 and 4, but I've got it all. And that was intentional because I know people are going to Google me. I again want to make sure that I put my very, very best foot forward. I want people to see the best version of me possible. So I'm going to share with you right now exactly how I do that. So I'm going to go off to online, and I'll meet you over on LinkedIn. So make sure you follow the directions here exactly, and you can own your entire Google search results. Now, one thing before I get going, if your name is Richard Branson, or if your name is Oprah Winfrey, Martha Stewart, or a very common or popular movie star name, uh, you might have, you'll have some challenges doing this. If your name is Jane Smith, you'll have some challenges doing this too. But I would recommend that maybe you definitely want to execute on this, because over time, Google will figure out who you are and your ranking will go up and up and up. So I'll meet you over on LinkedIn. See you there. Okay, here we are at LinkedIn. So a couple of things you're going to want to pay attention closely because this super secret sauce definitely works. And the first thing you're going to want to do is think of 3 to 5 keywords that describe you and how you want to be described, or how you want to be viewed as from your prospect's point of view. So in this case, in my headline, and you're going to want to do the exact same thing in your LinkedIn profile headline, I have award-winning best-selling author, internet marketer, entrepreneur, social media expert, and CEO of Course Owl. Now remember, my favorite thing is imperfectly done. It beats perfectly done, every single time. So once you've completed this and you've let this run for a couple weeks, don't sweat it if you need to change something, but get this done. Get this done. So you're going to want to put those keywords into your title, and then you're going to want to copy them, and you're going to want to sprinkle them throughout your LinkedIn profile where it makes sense. So I'll give you a demonstration here. I have in my summary, my background here, I have it here. Award-winning best-selling author, internet marketer, entrepreneur, social media expert, CEO of Corsair. I have it here, experience. I have it here as experience. I have it, if you scroll down, I don't want to make you guys sick here, but if you scroll down in my profile, I have it interests. I have it exact here as well. I probably have it a couple of other places. Oh, recommendations here. I have it just throughout my profile. So again, think of 3 to 5 keywords that describe you and how you want to be known to your audience. Use them in your title in LinkedIn and sprinkle them throughout your profile. Then you're going to want to head over to Facebook and you're going to go to your timeline and you're going to click on About. And guess what? Under Details About You, you're going to want to paste them. Exactly. Do not type this. Paste it so that it is exactly what you saw in LinkedIn. So Google does, because if you have an extra space or you misspell something or you don't have a comma or you have a comma somewhere else, Google's not going to recognize that it is exactly the same and they won't link you up. So put it into your Facebook Details About You. Then march on over to Twitter and make sure you have it exactly, just paste it in your Twitter profile. And then march on over to Google Plus, and you're going to want to put it in your profile in Google Plus, and I'll show you how to do that because it isn't always super intuitive to find. So if you can see my cursor here, I'm hovering over my head, and you'll go to your profile over here. It'll go to your Google Plus profile, and you can edit this part here by clicking on About. And once you click on About, you'll be able to, if you scroll down, you'll be able to see you can edit this whole part here. If I just have a lot written in here, by clicking Edit at the bottom, and you're going to want to put your, again, I have my the same things in here, right? Then you're going to march over to YouTube and you go to your channel and click on About and put the exact same thing into somewhere in your bio and your About You area. This way, when someone Googles you, and I'll just Google myself again, when someone Googles you, Google will recognize that your LinkedIn, that your Facebook, Twitter, Google Plus, any of your other social media, YouTube, etc., are all linked together. And it will say, oh, this person must be the same person. Also, if you do use press releases, you can put this exact same keyword string into the press release somewhere, and Google will immediately recognize that that press release is associated with you, and it will deliver amazing results. Okay, so there you go. My top 7 tips for looking like an expert in your niche online right now today is definitely get a professional photo, own your own name.com and website. Make sure your social media headers and all the covers are beautiful looking. Blog, create a lead magnet, put your name and your picture on it and give it away to everybody that wants it. Begin to Periscope and dominate Google for your own name. So in my bonus section that I put together for you today, a couple of things. I have listed all the resources that I've mentioned in our conversation today. I've also included 101 ways to use Periscope so that you can build your brand, your business, and your bank account, and all of the instructions for how to dominate Google for your name. It has been my absolute honor to be here with you today. I hope you've gained some tremendous value. Go out and be that beautiful, heart-centered expert that I know you are. My pleasure again, Karla Silver here. I'll see you on the internet. Bye, everybody.